From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
I'm Jonathan Amberian in Helena. I'll let you know how state regulators are adjusting their proposed rules on how medical marijuana businesses can advertise.
The Bozeman International Film Festival is returning in stride for its 4th year. Coming up.
Well, happy Thursday, Southwest Montana, 6:30. Chet Lehman, Matt Ello with you here. The smoke layer starting to, as the sun starts to rise, it's a little more visible out there.
You start to notice it, and our air quality is going to get worse. It got a little better in Dillon from the beginning of the show to now, but
good.
You know, we're going to be in that close to unhealthy range for most of the day. I have a feeling.
Okay.
I'm calling it
We're
my
geared
official
up. Thanks.
It doesn't matter. It's still going to be gross outside.
Yes, it is.
Temperatures into the 40s and 50s this morning. It's fairly comfortable this morning. There's the smoke that we're looking at. The wind has died down. I guess that's good. Temperatures back into the upper 80s for the afternoon today. It's going to be another hot and smoky afternoon, but we do have some relief on the way. I can't wait to tell you about it. That's coming up here in a little over 10 minutes.
All right, thank you, Matt. 6:31, our top story this half hour. A trial begins this morning involving a man accused of killing a Broadwater County Sheriff's deputy back in 2017. Lloyd Barris and his son Marshall are accused of ambushing Deputy Mason Moore during a traffic stop outside Three Forks in May of 2017, leading law enforcement on a nearly 150-mile chase across the state. Marshall Barris was fatally shot during a shootout just east of Missoula. Lloyd Barris faces a total of 5 charges, including deliberate homicide by accountability, 2 counts of attempted deliberate homicide, assault on a peace officer, and unlawful possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. It has taken more than 4 years to get Lloyd Barris to trial. Deputy Moore fatally shot on May 16, 2017. Prosecutors had initially planned to seek the death penalty against Barris for his alleged role in the shooting. But in June of 2018, Judge Kathy Seeley ordered Barris committed after he was found unfit to stand trial for a host of disorders, including persecutory type delusional disorder and mixed personality disorder. Prosecutors dropped the death penalty a month later. In December of 2018, the state went back to court to determine if Barris could be forcibly medicated to get him to a point where he could stand trial. In May of 2019, almost 2 years after Deputy Moore's killing, Judge Seeley ordered Barris to comply with the treatment and said he could be forcibly medicated. That triggered an appeal to the Montana Supreme Court, who upheld Judge Seeley's ruling in a January 2020 decision. And again, that trial starts today. We will be covering it more online and on air. Meantime, Montana Department of Revenue making some changes to proposed rules when it comes to medical marijuana providers. MTN's Jonathan Amberian explains what's changing and what's staying the same.
Montana regulators have revised their proposed new rules for medical marijuana advertising in response to comments and concerns from marijuana providers. In July, the Montana Department of Revenue released proposed rules intended to implement a new state law that allowed some online advertising for marijuana providers. But many providers objected, saying the regulations were too restrictive and would make it difficult for them to keep their businesses growing. The updated rules would clarify that a provider, quote, may promote its business and market its brand, but may not advertise marijuana or marijuana products except in electronic advertising. They would remove several of the original proposals, including one that would have limited the size of outdoor signs and required them to include disclaimers about the risks of marijuana use, and another that would have prevented medical marijuana businesses from sponsoring charitable events. The new rules would allow providers to advertise on social media if their accounts are private and only open to those 21 and older. Marijuana businesses would still be prohibited from using billboard ads. The public comment period on the new rules has now been extended through September 20th. Businesses will need to be in compliance by January 1st. These rules only apply to medical marijuana businesses. The Department of Revenue is also currently drafting rules for recreational marijuana, which will take effect January 1st when legal sales are allowed. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Thank you, Jonathan. 6:34 now. Beaverhead County Undersheriff Bill Knox tells MTN News that he's placing some residents of Wise River and the Alder Creek area in pre-evacuation mode. Says residents should keep aware, pay attention, as they could have to leave at a moment's notice. Undersheriff says dozens of homes could be in the path, including in Deer Lodge County. Both offices are working together on this. Now, the combined Alder Creek Christensen fire, which combined over the weekend, has now burned nearly 31,000 acres. Well, with the 20th anniversary of September 11th comes a flood of memories and emotions about the terror attacks that took nearly 3,000 lives. CBS's Elise Preston spoke with the widow of a New York City firefighter, a hero, but also a husband and father.
One of the things I miss the most is just laying in bed with my head on his shoulder, just talking away.
Ann Van Hein's husband was a New York City firefighter, one of the 343 FDNY responders who died in the attack on the World Trade Center.
Now when I look at these names, I know they're family members.
For Bruce Van Hein, being a firefighter was a childhood dream.
Squad 41 lost everyone on duty that day. They lost all 6 firefighters. They went into Building 2 and got pretty high up, started to bring civilians down, and then they were killed in the collapse.
When was the last time you spoke to Bruce?
The last time I saw Bruce was Sunday, September 9th. He said, I'm blessed. And I said, why? He said, because I'm married to Miss Ann.
Now, the grandmother of 3 volunteers at the 9/11 Tribute Museum, giving more than 500 tours where Bruce died a hero. But the one day she never visits the site is the September 11th anniversary.
I don't know that I can take on the collective grief of 3,000 people.
20 years ago, Joan Masterpolo lived just a block west of the towers. She watched the attacks from her office window.
I saw both towers get struck by the planes. I was never able to make it back home.
As a volunteer for the Tribute Museum, she shares stories of both the horrors and humanity of the day.
We had over 500,000 people come here after 9/11 with only one objective. They wanted to help.
That support from both loved ones and strangers has helped Van Hein carry on as she honors her husband's memory and makes sure we never forget. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
6:37 now. Local and international filmmakers coming to Montana for the 4th edition of the Bozeman International Film Festival. MTN's Jane McDonald caught up with the host as well as an artistic director to learn more.
Film, production, the movies. It has the power to bring people from all walks of life together, whether it be a 2-hour documentary or a 5-minute short film. And Bozeman is set to play host to those filmmakers.
Humans have connected for all through history through telling their stories. Film is just like a way of self-expression. The beautiful product of so many people from different cultures and ethnicities coming here to Bozeman to showcase their art.
Films change lives. I know of no better modern storytelling method.
And for the remainder of this week, beginning with a gala hosted by Egyptian comedian Bassem Youssef, stories from Switzerland to Iran to right here in Bozeman will be on display at the BZN International Film Festival.
It's cutting edge because it's accessible nowhere else. We have a huge focus on Montana filmmakers. We'll be showing films by MSU students, by MSU professors, and professional filmmakers in Bozeman.
60 films showing in person at the Emerson, and an additional 60 films on the Bozeman Film Festival app that will be available year-round.
BZN has been in operation 4 years. This is the 4th year of the festival. Last year we made it through COVID. To see films together rather than just alone in your house is a different experience. Like it's a group experience. You see how everyone else in the theater is reacting, and in many ways then there's a chance afterwards to tell the filmmakers how you felt about it, how it landed, your opinions. That's a unique experience. Really, we have a tremendous film tradition in town, and this is a chance to see projects that have just been done and some projects that are just coming off the finish line.
The Emerson Center right behind me will soon be a hub of activity for the community, students, and filmmakers alike. In Bozeman, Jane McDonald, MTN News.
Such a great event to have it continuing.
Yeah.
They kicked off announcing the first year of it right here on Montana this morning.
I remember.
I don't mean to brag about that, but we had it.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
I do mean to brag about it because that's what we do here at Montana this morning. 6:39. We've had such negative news here as we get to this part of the week. It's really hard on us. So I just wanted to bring you something more positive.
Oh, good.
Take a look at this. We're going to take you to St. Anne's Beach, Lancashire, England.
Is this like Kite Festival?
It's a kite festival,
oh, cool.
Matt. There's nothing more that a meteorologist loves than a kite festival. It just shows all the stuff that's going on up there in a nice, colorful, visual way. And I just thought it was beautiful.
Those kites are amazing.
Aren't they? They're ginormous. I just think it's super cool. Again, it had been canceled last year. They've been doing this in Lancashire for a long, long time. Canceled because of the COVID pandemic last year, but they were able to bring back the kite festival, and I am so happy to be able to bring it to you here.
That gecko
as well.
is probably my favorite. Gecko kite.
I don't know.
That
I
was
just
too
think
neat.
we needed something positive here on Montana this morning, and I don't know if there's anything better than a giant kite festival.
I do, believe it or not, I keep a kite in my car.
Do you?
I do.
That's awesome. I love flying a kite.
Yeah.
So it's good stuff. Maybe that's
Go
what
do
we'll
it.
have to go do after the show. Oh. All right. We're going to take a
In
break.
case somebody
though.
tells me to go fly
we
a kite.
we should probably finish, though. We have 20 minutes left to go.
All right.
We are going to take a break. When we come back, taking a look at Bitcoin from Central America. What? Yeah,
Okay.
El Salvador. We'll take you to that story when Montana This Morning continues.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS Mornings, President Biden is expected to announce a new strategy to curb the spread of that Delta variant. We're in Tampa to see how the virus is affecting the NFL season. It kicks off tonight. Also, thousands of people rushed out of the World Trade Center on 9/11, and hundreds of heroes, they rushed in. Tony shares the story of one firefighter's ultimate sacrifice and his sons who are now following in his footsteps. And we continue to explore our new neighborhood right here in Times Square. See how Broadway is coming back, and we'll take you on a culinary tour. There's Vlad of Times Square, a melting pot of cultures and cuisines. They say there's good eating around here. We'll see you 7 o'clock straight up.